Alright, what's up Dreamer Tribe, what's up world? I am Bianca and welcome to another episode of our indie game showcase. Now for this episode we're going to be talking about NanoPiko and Plugin Digital's logic puzzle RPG known as PictoQuest: The Cursed Grid. Now, this game isn't really new per se. It was previously released on a Nintendo Switch last year. I think it was around August last year that it was released, but it has just been recently released on Steam, which is the reason why we're doing this showcase and the reason why I want to, tell you guys about this game. Now, what is PictoQuest: The Cursed Grid? Basically, it combines logic puzzles with light RPG elements that will give gamers chance to let their deductive skills shine. The game is a little bit of a story in it, but it's not really that relevant. When you play, you can actually just breeze through the text without a care on why you're going on this particular quest, and you'll be fine. The meat of the game is in its puzzle gameplay, but if you're curious about the story, basically you take control of one of two adventurers, a boy or a girl. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter what you choose because they go together in this quest. So it's just, it doesn't matter what your preference is, just pick either of them. But yeah, you go and set off on an adventure to try to retrieve these paintings that were stolen from Pictoria, from the hands of this evil wizard known as Moonface. Now, if you guys are wondering, if you know me, I like games with fantastic storyline and amazing character development, likable characters. So you may be wondering what drew me into this game. Basically, it's just the cutesy graphics. I just laid eyes on the graphics and I thought to myself that this would be an interesting game to play, and add to that, it's a puzzle game, which is something that I also enjoy. So I decided to give this game a try and to, showcase this game in my channel. Now, what is the gameplay of PictoQuest? Basically, it's a Picross game with an added adventure board for a twist. You go through these levels with various grid sizes, starting from the most basic, which is 5x5, and your job is to uncover and find out what the picture is that is hidden behind the grids by ticking the boxes in the grids, to show what the image is. The further along the journey you are, the more difficult the grids become. If I remember correctly, the most difficult grid in this game is a 20x20 grid. It starts off easy, but again, it depends on your skill. But if you're like me and this is your first time actually playing a game like this, it may take a little while to get used to, but you get to use your mental prowess in the end. So it's actually really fun and frustrating at the same time. Now, with PictoQuest, however, you just don't simply try to uncover what the images are. You actually have enemies to fight, and and that's the reason why I feel like this game is a little bit difficult, because you're given a limited amount of time to try to solve each grid. If you take too slow to solve them, then the enemies will attack you and you will lose a heart, because you have 3 hearts at the beginning of this game, and you can upgrade your hearts. You can buy 2 additional hearts for 1,000 gold apiece. Now, golds, you obtain them from completing levels, completing quests, because there are quests here that you meet characters on the adventure board, and you can complete their quest. Now they will either give you money or they will give you items, which you can use to help you solve the puzzles in this game. But yeah, if you take too long, you're gonna lose a life because the enemies you're gonna attack. And if you made a wrong, or if you tick a wrong box, then you also lose a life. It's that sort of game, but I feel like it's also a game that is better shown to you guys. So without further ado, let's dive right into the meat of the matter. And the reason why you're watching this video is to find out more about this game and what the gameplay actually looks like. So let's dive into the game. So yeah, this is obviously the main menu of the game. Now, I've actually completed it. I completed the game. It took me 15 hours to complete. And as I've said, I've never played a game like this before. I've never touched a Picross game in my life, in my entire life, until I played this game. So maybe that's the reason why it took me that long. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a couple of what do you call this, features in this game. First off, the basics. Let's go to play the basics. Now there are different Picross battles, for lack of a better term, Picross battles in this game. Now this particular one, you don't have to worry about the time. You only have to make sure that you complete the board with as little mistakes as possible in order to get the treasure that is inside this box. And basically how you do that is there are, again, numbers on the sides and on the upper corner here, and those numbers depict how many boxes you have to tick, the correct boxes. So for instance, this is 5, so that means you get to tick all 5 of these boxes, and you complete, and every time you complete a row or a column, it will attack the enemy if you're fighting against the enemy, or it will add coins into the treasure box, like so. Also another 5 right here. There we go. That brings us closer to our goal. Yeah, if you made a mistake during these battles, like I just did to show you guys, what happens, you're gonna lose coins. What happens when you lose, when I lose all 56 of these coins? Nothing really. It's just you ran out of money, and collecting money or coins in this game is pretty tedious, so you gotta be careful about that. But yeah, let's just finish this. The more mistakes you make, the higher the coin loss is gonna be. So you gotta be very careful. I wasn't paying attention. Also, to make things easier for you, you can use the right mouse button to put marks like this, X marks, to tell you that you don't have to place anything there. So it sort of helps solve the puzzle. Personally, I make use of it, especially in more difficult levels. How many coins did we get? I made 2 mistakes right there, so you only get 3. I think the most you can get at the beginning is 5, then 10, 20, and 50, or 30, 50, depending on how well you do. Let me show you another feature that this game has. These teleport thingies, fast travel things. So yeah, 10 levels. This game has, or 10 areas. This game has 10 areas. You start off in Pictoria Village. Furnace Fields is the last level of the game. So yeah, you unlock these as soon as you beat the boss in the area, and there is a boss. But for now, I'm gonna try and show you guys what the actual battles look like. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a battle. So you have an enemy and they have an attack meter here. If the meter fills up, you're gonna get attacked and you lose a life or half a life, depending on which enemy you encounter. I think the bosses are the ones that take a full life off of you if they attack. Of course, because I am already at high level, these enemies barely do anything to me. But yeah, let's complete this puzzle first. Okay. That's it. So yeah, you may be thinking, well, this game is pretty easy. It's actually not. It's just that way because we're starting off at the very beginning. We have a shop. Now, the shop sells you these items, which are useful when you're trying to battle against bosses, or when there's a grid, a particular grid that's you're finding extremely hard to complete. So we have here a half health potion. It's basically, it heals half a heart. Full heart potion right here. This one, I call it the ice orb. It freezes the enemy and keeps them from attacking you. The flame orb, if you launch it at the board, it's gonna show you the row and column on where you launch it at, that where you're supposed to tick the boxes to uncover the image. So it's useful if you're not sure where to start. This one, the Thunder Orb, is what I call it. It shows you, I think it's a 4x4 grid, or 4x4, yeah, grid. It shows you if there are any boxes to tick there. It shows you, it immediately solves, the boxes where you launch it at. Now, you can buy these items, or you can just do your best in completing quests, because they also end up as rewards for quests. Now, at the beginning of the game, if I remember correctly, you only have these two items, the half health and the the half heart and the full heart bottles. Either that, or you have the half heart and the and this flame orb. I can't really remember. It's been a long 15 hours of trying to beat this game and managing to do so, but you just start off with just two items that you can buy. Again, I think I didn't buy any items except for the hearts upgrade, the health upgrade. I didn't buy anything apart from those up until I get to the final boss, which has a 20x20 grid and which attacks really fast. And the only items I actually bought were health items, because again, he attacks quickly and he also removes the markings you leave on the board, so you have to put that back if you're using it to make things easier. But yeah, each area, again, as I've said, they have boss battles. Now, this is an example of a boss battle. I'm just gonna go and breeze through the text. So yeah, basically it's just the same as the normal battles, but here we go. 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2. Yeah, that's it. Again, it's easy because it's the first boss, and yeah, the only difference is that they attack quickly. That's it. Apart from the final boss, which has a special attack, I never encountered another boss that has said special attack. So let's go. I think this is a lot harder. I think this is the point. Yeah, we're now at the 10x10 grid. So yeah, let me show you guys how that looks like. Yeah, this is a 10x10 grid. And yeah, we have to be careful, because I didn't realize there's enemies here. 3, that did it. 2, 3, 4. You can also just drag the mouse, like that. You don't have to click every single box. But I prefer clicking, because sometimes I just drag the mouse too far. Okay, so 3, 8, 8, 4. You really have to be quick in solving these puzzles, because again, if you're not, the enemies are just gonna come after you, and you know, you're gonna have a rough time completing this game. I pressed the wrong button. I forgot to add the mark there. Tell me that I've already solved that column. But yeah, that's basically how the game is played. It doesn't really change all that much. Of course, I think each area, they're not really, don't have that equal length per area. The farther along you are, the more levels each area has. I'm just gonna show you guys up to the end, because there really isn't much to say about this game gameplay wise, because again, that's all there is. I'm not sure if really you can't really do anything else once you beat the game, once you've progressed 100%. I don't know if there's gonna be an update for this. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, this is a 20 by 20 grid area already. Twilight Peaks. It actually took me a little bit of time before I figured out a technique in this harder areas and how to complete them. Yeah, this is the final boss area. So yeah, that's basically it for this game. I really can't say much more than that. It's just a Picross game with an added, added RPG elements to it. I'm looking at my notes and trying to see if I've missed anything. But yeah, that's it. I can say that if you're searching for a game that's, you know, that's different and something that you can play to pass time, then I would suggest this game. I would definitely suggest PictoQuest. Now, I know this again came out last year for the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if both versions are the same because I was only given the Steam version, so I can't really compare. But again, I like this game a lot. It's quite different from what I usually play, but you know, it's enjoyable, if not a little bit frustrating again, because of how, especially if you're fighting against enemies, or there's actual enemies in the board that you end up playing in, and they attack quickly. You don't have any items, you don't like to use items, and you have to move quickly. But then if you move too quickly, you'll end up making mistakes. This is sort of where the game has to be pretty balanced in order to do it. There are some parts of this game that manages to do that, but I think at the beginning of each area, especially when the grid size changes or the board size changes, that's where I found the most difficulty in. But again, overall, I enjoyed playing this game. So if you're into puzzle games, if you love Picross, if you played it before, if you haven't played it before and you want to play it, you want to try the game out, then this is a good game as any to start playing that sort of logic puzzle game. And that's about it for today's Indie Game Showcase. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on. Bye-bye now. What's up, Dreamer Tribe? What's up, world? I am Bianca, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content of this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button to let me know. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to be a part of the Dreamer Tribe, just hit on that subscribe button. We also have tons of different content here on my channel, so be sure to check those out. Until the next video, dream on, fly on.